stores for cosplay and stuff like that.
I thought you were talking about like going to like Meyer or something.
No. I'm talking about
customs.
the Goodwill. The amount of costumes that Goodwill picks up is ridiculous.
Gotcha.
Like so many. So I just have to keep my eyes peeled for any potential Star Wars ones. Did a full test of the new setup on OBS and BlueStacks during the NADS last night, and it works an absolute treat.
Nice.
I've switched the OBS from software encoding to hardware encoding. I see you still had some crashes though. Yeah, I had two crashes on OBS. That I had to uninstall. I updated OBS. Sorry, I updated BlueStacks, and it wouldn't launch. The engine just wouldn't launch. So I had to uninstall BlueStacks, reinstall it again, which was a pain in the ass because then I had to put all my accounts in, and then redo all of the settings. Like I said, not that I'm fussed, because CPU usage on OBS now it's tiny.
Yeah.
Whereas before it would usually float between 30 and 40%. It barely hits double digits. CPU is at 8 to 12%. So I'm getting solid 60 frames per second.
Give it hello, Governor to Wardy.
Hello, Governor.
And I'll give my sup, bro. I guess that's the American version of that. I don't know.
Yeah. So, hello, Governor. Hello, Governor. Yeah. So the reason why I really wanted to get switched from software to hardware is it just means that when I've got the camera plugged in using the capture card, I can get full 1080. And the software isn't the software isn't, it's not struggling, because it was struggling before. I was only running it at 720p, and now I'll be able to run it much. I'm just happier with my setup. I had to play around with a few things, and yesterday's NADS was the perfect opportunity to test it.
Oh man, time flies when you have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there reading spoiler-free reviews of the Mando episode.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't touched it. I did see what the episode was called, but that was it.
I totally forget what the episode was called. So, Helenix, it's your job to shoot down any spoilers in the chat.
Indeed.
Catch him before I see him. Oh, don't ban. You don't have to ban people. Just time them out for 5 seconds.
Oh no! Let him drop ban hammers. Anybody that wants to spoil the episode, ban hammer.
Unless they're, Shoot, did I take my...
a strong one of Datamine. The Escape Pod cast was recorded in front of a live studio audience of ghouls and goblins. I'm sure Nev and Paul will have more treats than tricks tonight.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's episode of the Escape Pod Cast.
StarWars.com announces Kuill and IG-11 are coming to the game on Monday.
But sadly, we didn't hear about it at all on the official forums until today. And they did a very special way of making this announcement.
There is also a new way of unlocking them.
I don't think you're going to be happy about it though, Neil, but we will go over their kits, check out the rest of their details, and exactly how to unlock them.
We did get a State of the Galaxy as well today.
And we were promised the road ahead next month as well.
Disappearing turn meter bars are plaguing the game.
It's happening in all game modes, but is there a workaround?
If you have been following our YouTube, you may have noticed a new series I started.
Yes, and while it may not be for everyone, there is a specific member of the population that it is made for.
And I hope we do get a response someday.
Datamine news, Doja Fed updates, and more as well. Coming up.
And the proprietor of SWGOH Events, Sigsig, will sit down with us in our incoming transmission.
I look forward to picking the brain of the man who helps us content creators with show prep week in and week out.
I am sure you're also looking forward to this one because of your puzzle master status.
Well, I won't lie, he's fairly instrumental in that.
And in our fourth segment, we answer patrons' choice questions on the bridge.
And as we do in the penultimate episode of the season, talk a bit about the games we're playing outside of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner here on the bridge of the Millennial Fulcrum, Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you doing today?
I find your lack of costume disturbing.
I don't do costumes. I could green screen a costume in. I could just wrap myself in green and green screen a costume, but... and I do have a costume. I've got a Vader costume. I just don't have the gear. I just got the helmet.
Take that off. Cheap costume, you know, Darth Vader gator and what do you call it? The the T-shirt that looks like Vader's buttons for our Twitch audience. So I'm doing okay, Neil. How are you? What's the good word with you this week?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Everything's going well. Lots of little videos. Really taking advantage and playing with the new green screen studio that's on the other side. You know, it's in the back. It's in the back of the ship. I've done several shots from the hold and from from various different areas of the Millennial Fulcrum. I've been kicking the tires on a couple of new ships as well, you know, because we know that the hyperdrive's not been so hot on this one of recent. So yeah, I've been kicking the tires on a couple of new ships, which would obviously it wouldn't be the Millennial Fulcrum, it would be the Millennial Fulcrum 2, but you know what I mean. Got to kick the tires of any new ships, haven't we?
Well, I mean, in case something ever were to happen to this one.
Exactly. If something ever goes wrong with this, we'd be screwed.
Thank you for the 200 bits cascade. We really appreciate the support, guys. It has been one heck of a month. It really truly has. But let's first, before we get into all the huge news that dropped, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. As we mentioned, you are doing some shorts that I titled Dear Doja.
Yeah.
You want to tell the listening audience who
Dear
may
Doja
not,
Fett. So basically, they really, really are shorts. Every video is literally going to be 5 minutes or less. It's going to be like 2.5 minutes to 5 minutes, where I very, very briefly touch on an improvement, whether it's a quality of life improvement or just a general improvement to the game that we've discussed or talked about or had conversations in Discord or comments on videos, and it's something that we've brought up at Q&As, and it's one of those things that we just would really, really like to see come to the game, but it hasn't quite made it. So I'm doing these videos as little reminders, little nuggets, just to kind of try and see if I can give CG Doja Fett a little nudge. It's like, oh, CG Doja Fett. You may not have realized this, but you probably do. We've been asking for this, and we've been asking for that, and so I think I've done about 5 at the moment. I'll try and bang one out every single day, but at some point in the not too distant future, I will eventually run out of suggestions for quality of life.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but
so right now it's a weekday series.
Yes,
so
it's a weekday.
You're not going to see any Saturday or Sunday on the YouTube channel, but you'll see hopefully another one Monday. Yeah. I think you already got one in the can, right?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I've done. I because the setup's in the hold. It's permanently set up, so it doesn't move. So all I have to do is literally set up the camera, plug it into the PC, and boom, away I go. I just need to come up with something fun and interesting as a background. So if anybody out there has an interesting or funny still background or a video background that they would like me to use, something that they'd think, yeah, that would look awesome as a green screen background, whether it's a video or whether it's a still, just send it to me on Discord. If I can use it, I will.
Exactly. All right. So let's get to the news of the day. One thing I want to clarify in the intro, you said that StarWars.com said that Kuill is coming on Monday. By when we wrote that, essentially, we were meaning not that he's coming this Monday. We know when he's coming. We'll get into that. But on Monday, on Mando Monday, they announced that Kuill would be coming to the game. So I don't want to see any comments on YouTube saying, you guys said he was going to be here Monday. No, I'm explaining that right now. Thank you. So, all right. So Kuill's coming. So is IG-88 or IG-11. We knew this, and there was supposed to be a special post on the forums and a special episode of Galactic War Report that was announcing this, that was supposed to all come out on Monday, but we ended up actually getting it today. We found out that Operation Metaverse and the guests that we have coming up later today, Sigsig from SWGOH Events, and the guys from Galactic War Report all got to sit down. Crumb kind of moderated a Q&A with 3 developers. That is how you engage the community. Spread that around, CG. Bravo. Loved it. Thank you, Popeye, for the 100 bits, and also Helenix for the shiny nickel.
Yeah. It was great. It was really, really nice. I mean, I was listening. I must admit, I was a little bit confused as to who was doing what, because the first video that I watched was... So I watched the Operation Metaverse one without realizing that Galactic War Report hadn't put theirs on YouTube. They'd simply gone straight to audio podcast.
Yeah.
So I wasn't hearing, I thought I was just going to hear the questions and then the answers. And I didn't see everybody in the video, so I was a little bit confused, and you had to explain it to me. But I mean, it's all out there. So Operation Metaverse's bits are on their channel, and Galactic War Report's bits are on their website, which is obviously Radio Free Tatooine, which is where you go to get their audio podcast. So it doesn't look like the Galactic War Report guys have done a visual one. They've just done an audio one, and Operation Metaverse have done a visual one. So yeah,
correct.
But
and Operation Metaverse, what OM did, what Team Money and GOM did, was take essentially just the video of the Zoom call of Crumb, of the other developers.
Mouse, Miller, and
yes,
Miller
and yes,
it's Mouse Miller. I do apologize to the fourth developer. Your name eludes me at the moment, but it was Crumb, Miller, Mouse, and I really, really am sorry I can't remember your name, Mr. Fourth Developer. Sorry.
We would remember it if we had more time to comb over it.
No, I listened to it and got some. Yeah, no, I thought it was really, really fun. It was very, very interesting, very insightful to listen to. I'd recommend everybody go and either watch the Operation Metaverse one or go if you want something visual. But if you're not that fussed about something visual, then definitely check out the podcast on Radio Free Tatooine for the Galactic War Report guys. I think that's just, unedited all the way through. But there's some really, really insightful bits and pieces in there. Plus some bossing from
CG Kale. CG Kale was the third.
Kale, right? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, plus some boss moves from Crumb. Because as you can see in the Chiron below, I've actually written it down as 2.5 characters coming to the game. Because technically it may only be one character, but we do have Baby Yoda coming to the game attached to the front of IG-11.
And we will get into that.
We will get into that, yeah.
One thing that I do want to point out, though, as Sigsig did in his thing for SWGOH.GG, he has Crumb officially gave the nickname of C-3PO and Chewbacca. It is 3PO or Chewpio. It is Chewpio, so that is official. Anyway, inside the forums was a State of the Galaxy and the 2 kit reveals, and of course the developer insights that go with it. One piece of very interesting information was at the very bottom of the State of the Galaxy. We're celebrating the game's 5th anniversary next month, starting with just over 60 characters. Now they're at 240 and still growing. The anniversary is a great moment for us to look back how the game has evolved. And then there was a line that was scratched out of the State of the Galaxy. He left it to kind of give us a little bit of a tease. We've already mentioned some bigger changes coming to the economy.
That could mean anything. That could literally mean anything. It can mean anything and nothing.
Hey, as long as I could get stun guns a little bit easier, I'll be happy.
Well, we'll just we'll have to wait and see. I mean, a change in the economy could simply mean that they're going to give something away more frequently for free that costs 1,300 or 1,400 crystals. It could mean that they're going to cut the price in half of things that, from the weekly shipments, for example. It literally, it could mean anything. It really, really could. Some cut price gear in weekly shipments definitely wouldn't go amiss. We'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, they would then need to make the corresponding... it could be that what they're selling the crystals for, that could be the change to the economy. They could be cutting the price in half of what you have to spend in actual, legal tender, regardless of what country you're in. You might have to use less legal tender in order to get the same amount of crystals. It could mean anything. Simply saying changes to the economy, it really doesn't give us...
That would make sense.
...anything to go off.
That truly would make sense that they would do that, because Epic Games has done it for Fortnite. They've a lot of places have changed the cost of in-game currency. So, but okay, so this is October, right?
Yes, we're still in October technically.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got another few hours of October left.
Okay, it says stay tuned for next month's road ahead. So it should arrive in November, right?
Yeah.
Next month would be November.
Yes, next month is November, and next month is the anniversary of the game.
And
depending on your point of view, because obviously the soft launch was November and the official launch was technically in December. But the game was available in November.
And also want to look at this. The 23rd through the 25th is usually when people take off early for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
So we should be getting a State of the Galaxy within 3 weeks.
I mean, that would be nice. But remember when they said that they were going to give us a State of the Galaxy earlier on this year, and it came like months late. The road ahead. The road ahead.
We are hoping. We are hoping beyond hope that we see a State of the Galaxy in November, preferably in the next 3 weeks. But technically, they could put it out Monday after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and it would still be November.
Yeah.
So,
although things have been much smoother, for this, for the past few months, things have been running a lot smoother. We've got the new community manager. Content's coming out nice and smoothly. They keep making changes to the new game mode that didn't have a brilliant launch, but seems to be getting issues resolved relatively quickly. So things are going a little bit smoother. Although I think the one thing that I think people have complained about, and it really has been the only thing I think people have complained about the past couple of months, is the speed with which they deal with bugs and issues. But that swings in roundabouts. Sometimes they're quick with stuff, and sometimes they're slow with stuff. It really, really does depend on the types of bugs and issues that they get with the game.
Speaking of bugs and issues, we have an issue where I'm losing my turn meter bar during territory battles. I lost it during the Grand Arena Championships. You guys remember that last after show?
Yeah,
I was sitting there going, "Where's this turn meter?"
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, there are always going to be bugs and there are always going to be issues, and sometimes they deal with them fast, and sometimes they really, really drag their feet with them. But at least now these days we do seem to have a community manager as a point of contact. I mean, what we had that one issue a couple of weeks ago. It didn't even make it to the dev tracker before CT Jotafet had already posted on the forum that the issue had been noted and it was going to be resolved within X amount of time, and he dealt with that one so fast that it didn't even make it onto the dev tracker. But like I said, it swings in roundabouts. Sometimes we have issues now that aren't even on the dev tracker, and we don't know if those issues are being resolved. So, but the turn meter thing and the button thing's missing. They really, really need to get that squared away before the next GAC.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's start out.
So what do you want to start with first?
Let's start with Kuill, since Kuill's coming to the
developer insight of Kuill
to the game first. Yep. Let's skip over the fluff at the beginning. We'll read the basics here. And you take unique attributes. The basics: Kuill fits the role of support for scoundrels and droid squads. Parts of his kit can work with all droids, but he's particularly effective with light side droids. His special 2, I have spoken. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's good.
Is a powerful healing ability that can buff scoundrel and light side droid allies with mechanics savvy. He has a strong synergy with IG-11 and provides some nice buffs, but he could still do well on his own. Voltaic?
Yeah, it's Voltaic, yeah.
Voltaic shot. His first special can pair well with squad members that can apply shock. He's the first light side character that can apply shock. And potency is fairly important to Kuill, as many of his abilities revolve around debuffing to get the maximum effect from his kit.
Okay, unique attributes. Kuill is the first light side character to have shock.
Oh, I buried the lead, sorry.
Kuill is the first light side character to have shock, and his unique 1 and special 1 help him control the enemy team while keeping himself alive. The special 2, I have spoken, provides his allies bonuses based on their faction, so light side droids will get one version of the buff and scoundrels will get another.
Hit up the inspiration, I'll take strategy.
Kuill doesn't participate in combat often, but he does fire an electric tranquilizer dart to save Mando in episode 1. The Blurg is briefly electrified and stunned, which was fairly straightforward to translate to Galaxy of Heroes. We knew he had to include his most memorable catchphrase somewhere in the kit, so I have spoken was destined to be an ability name from the first time we heard it. Originally, we wanted the character model to be riding a Blurg, but in the end, we translated it into his relic instead. And they do talk about that a little bit during the podcast. I do recall that being discussed.
Yes. Yes, they do. Kuill is best, and this was the strategy tips, he's best paired with a mix of scoundrels and droids. And an all-droid or all-scoundrel team is effective, but a blend of the factions provides the best variety for roles needed to push the squad to the next level. Kuill is a very flexible character, and we have found a very interesting squad with galactic legend Rey at the helm. Oh, great! If you have the right combination of units, Kuill can make that squad incredibly tanky and hard to take down. And we also found some great success under IG-88 lead, as Kuill was able to keep many of his squishy droid allies alive while they mowed down the enemy squad.
Yeah, one of the ones I'm also thinking about potentially is I'd be curious to know how he works with Lobot. Because if he works well with Lobot, Urza's going to be very, very happy. Because Urza went to town on his Lobot, remember? Okay, so squad suggestions. Kuill provides a space for some of the underutilized scoundrels and droids like T3M4, L337, and any other light side droids you can spare. We mentioned Rey and IG-88 above, but a Kira lead also worked very well in our testing.
All right.
I can't see their testing being as exhaustive as theory crafters out there.
Yeah, like Zareth, once he gets his hands on this. So we're not going to get into the whole strategy tips. His basic is a deal special damage to target enemy, and he inflicts burning for 3 turns on his basic. His special does hit that, does stun and inflict the speed down and shock for 3 turns. And if they're burning, so, having R2-D2 in there is going to help. He will expose them for 2 turns. And if they're already shocked, shock them again. And the lowest health enemy who didn't already have shock.
Mm-hmm.
His special 2, I have spoken. So here's all the crazy stuff. So scoundrels will get plus 20% critical chance, plus 40% critical damage, and defense penetration. And then the droids will get plus 40 offense. And if they have the buff when they're defeated, the droids, they'll get revived with 80% of their max health and protection.
Ooh, I'm just thinking Chupio with this.
That was one of my thoughts.
Oh, Chupio with Kuill? Ooh.
He does count as a droid.
Mm-hmm. Does he have both? I'm just wondering if he's got both tags. Does he have the scoundrel tag?
I'll check in the break.
Because if he's got both tags, would he get the bonus twice?
Yes.
Like Revan would get sometimes Old Republic and Jedi would get buffed twice. You know, they would get a bonus twice. I'm just wondering if Chupia would get the scoundrels and the droid bonuses to make it.
I don't think he has scoundrels. I think he only has droid, but I will definitely double check.
Definitely want to check.
Unless somebody wants to, you know, if somebody wants to go check for us in the chat. His Zeta is on his unique. At the start of battle, all other scoundrel and droid allies gain 40% of Kuill's max health, offense, and potency. And until Kuill is actually defeated, those allies gain 40% of Kuill's max protection.
Oh, wow. Okay,
So
that is a lot. That is a lot to take.
Yeah. Kuill and droid allies recover 20% protection when an enemy is inflicted with shock. So back up for a second, and this is kind of temp LZE Temple Z was kind of saying, just wanted to know our digested thoughts on the kits. We're reading it a little bit because I wanted to get into this part. We did want to cover entirely the dev insight, though, because that's what we do. All right, so his first special that only has a cooldown of 2, Neil. If the target already had shock, inflict shock for 3 turns on the lowest health enemy that didn't already have it. So it's inflicting shock.
Yeah.
By the way, it's just droid and rebel. It's not also scoundrel.
Ah, okay. That's a shame.
So Kuill and droid allies recover 20% protection when an enemy is inflicted with shock. Every 2 turns, you're recovering 20% protection. Get speed up on that on Kuill, and you're good. And while Kuill and IG-11 are alive, they both have 10% health steal, 30% extra potency. Kuill can't be critically hit or stunned, and whenever IG-11 is critically hit, he also recovers another 20% protection.
Okay. Oh God, there's just so many. Oh, there's just so many possibilities for this. Oh, what about Karth with Mission Zalbar and then Kuill and IG-11? That would be a good one as well.
Yeah, Gom was really in the Galactic War Report version of the interview that they did. Gom was going ham. He's like, just think of this on a Karth team.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you make Kuill like stupid fast, the Palpatine Vader, undersized that would normally wipe the floor, it wouldn't work, would it?
Yeah.
Not if you're getting the shock. Not if you get in the shock on Vader. It's not going to work. It would stop the TM train dead in its tracks, surely.
Remember, burning. You don't gain extra turn meter when you're burning.
Yeah, no, there's that as well. Yeah, so yeah, there are a lot of teams that these two could go into that could really mix things up. It's the unique. I mean, how the hell are you going to mod this guy? I mean, 40% of his max health, offense, and potency. So 40% of his health, 40% of his offense, and 40% of his potency. I mean, you could go. I suppose you could go with health sets, with offense primaries, but a potency cross, so that 40% of that is going on to Scoundrel or Droid. Oh, God, it's just...
Think of how potent C-3PO would be.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
We're coming up to the top of the hour. Let's really quick take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about IG-11 and how to farm Kuill and IG-11 and get into a few other things right here on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Macias, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Macleod Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macleod will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Macleod has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Macleod today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up macleodmods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Macleod Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Macleod Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message, and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Podcastaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/the Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, I am Andy Beeds, commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion.
And I'm Camp Director Flair of Gaming Embers.
We are the officers of the Chain Gang.
We're a collection of Twitch streamers that like to stream our Grand Arena Championship battles.
In Star Wars Galaxy Heroes,
we feature accounts of all sizes.
From the large accounts, like Fruit Ninja Mike,
to the small accounts like, well, mine.
We have grand arena action for all viewers.
With names like The Llama,
Ran B,
Dr. Zeppers,
Mr. Jigabachi,
Geek Girl 1980,
Rico,
Kate Gaming,
Flair,
Andy Beeds,
and the Escape Podcast's own, The Nev.
We bring you continuous game action every day during the attack phase.
Check us out and ride the raid chain from streamer to streamer with us.
The Chain Gang is proud feature of the Escape Pod Castaways.
See you on the chain, ya hosers.
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. We talk more new Mando characters. Yes, we do. Paul, where were we?
But before we do get into the new Mando characters, GA Center, this coming Tuesday will be the month wrap-up of the past month of GAC. And we had a Patreon commercial during that break. A quick reminder that if you would like to be featured in GA Center, just become a Patreon next month. Don't do it this month. I know it'd be really cool if you did, but I don't want you to be double charged. If you're not a Patreon yet and you're thinking about signing up, wait until Sunday, November 1st, and become a Patreon then, so you're not charged for the month of October and then the month of November. So I'd love to cover you if you're interested in becoming a part of GA Center. Thank you very much. All right. Yes, IG-11. The developer insight. IG-11 can fill many roles in a squad, but he's primarily a healer for scoundrels and droids, so he's a healer there. He has the healer tag, but don't let that fool you into thinking that he can't be used as a tank or support. His first special, Function Protect, allows him to pair well with squads that can apply shock, like Kuill. Of course, IG-11 has some special synergy with Kuill and provides IG-11 with additional protection and a powerful start of battle taunt. So pre-taunt there.
Pre-taunter, yeah. It's always nice to have more pre-taunters.
Yep. IG-11 assists with allies when they attack out of turn. Chupio. And when paired with the right squad, he will be consistently blasting his enemies. Also, the child.
Mm-hmm. Okay, unique attributes. Max health is very important for IG-11. Both his unique and special 2 use his max health as part of his abilities. At the start of IG-11's turn, he dispels all debuffs from droid and scoundrel allies. That's useful. That is so useful. What an awesome unique. That is an awesome unique. For each debuff dispelled this way, IG-11 inflicts damage over time for 2 turns on a random enemy, which can't be evaded. Oh. Yeah, that's nice. His basic attacks 2 targets and deals physical damage to the target and to the weakest enemy. This also applies when he assists. He has the child with him. Why mention anything else?
Well, we'll get into that. As far as the inspiration, the moment we saw this character, we knew it had to be in Galaxy of Heroes, and we had to have a visually stunning animation when he fired his blasters. I think we were all blown away when we saw IG-11 in action the first time. We created some special animations to capture his crazy shooting style that varies depending on the number of enemies he is facing. They were talking about this.
Yeah, they were. They were talking about this. How the animation needed to relate to how many people he was fighting. So if there was 5 people on, where he would be shooting would be different from if there were only 2 or 3 or 1, so they had to, make the animations very, very specific for IG-11, yeah.
As long as that doesn't cause any problems with the game,
mm-hmm.
I am fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. Just really quick on the strategy tips. He can fill decent roles depending on modding. Focusing on max health will make him a tank because of his taunt. If you want him support, put a combination of speed and max health to give him as many turns as possible. Modding for potency allows him to hit the debuffs and the dots. IG-11 attacks whenever an ally attacks out of turn. This is what I liked. When paired with BB-8 and R2-D2, IG-11 will trigger his assist when BB-8 counters, and then when he calls a resistance ally to attack.
Yeah.
IG-11 is very strong against squads that apply lots of debuffs due to dispelling all debuffs from droids and scoundrel allies. All right. You want to hit the squad suggestions real quick?
Sure. So, squad suggestions, MacLeod, BB-8, and R2-D2 were all solid squad mates during testing that allowed IG-11 to assist very frequently due to their consistent counterattacks. IG-88 can be a fairly good lead for a droid squad with IG-11, but Kira was also great if you have a scoundrel-centered team. While Kuill isn't an absolute must for IG-11, the automatic taunt at the start of battle and additional protection can be very valuable depending on which role you want IG-11 to fill. Ultimately, we found a mix of scoundrels and droids, particularly scoundrel droids, were the best squad mates. We would not recommend using IG-11 under a General Grievous lead. IG-11's Dispel at the start of turn disrupts Grievous Mark and opens up Grievous or attacks. So yeah, no GG, no GG. I'm just wondering if you could put because of his kit, because of the pre-taunt, I'm just wondering if you could throw him in the GL counter. I don't know, I'm just thinking. I'm wondering if he could be if you threw him in as the pre-taunter on the Slacker counter instead of your Shore Trooper, and you put Kuill in there as well instead of
it'll be interesting.
And you put Kuill in there instead of Thrawn, is what Tambor is going to make people go out. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to leave it to the professional theory crafters, but there's a lot of play there.
Well, it'll be really easy for you to get him, and we'll explain that in a moment here.
Yeah.
So his basic is deal physical damage to the target and to the weakest enemy. If all enemies are debuffed, he gains 20% protection. He's gaining protection, especially when paired with Kuill, just for sneezing.
Yeah.
His unique or his special one is deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict tenacity down. So that opens them up for the potency. Enemies with shocker damage over time are dealt physical damage a second time in IG-11 taunts. Nurse Droid Protocol, his second is, I believe, nope, it is not a Zeta. Target ally recovers health equal to 30% of IG-11's max health. That's not a lot.
No.
It's not a lot.
Well, we don't know what his max health's going to be like when he's relicked. I mean, look what happened with look what happened with GG.
Right. Okay. Forgive me on this though, because I don't think they were technically supposed to kind of brag about it, if you will. But Team Money was saying in chat during the premiere of their episode that she's already got to play with him. They were already talking about, they were looking at their stats and things like that. Guys, don't rub it in. Give us these stats at the same time if you're going to be doing that. They said that IG-11 might have a high health pool.
Mm-hmm.
So it may very well be nice there.
Yeah, she did say that she said that he had the highest health pool that she's seen on any character.
Yeah.
So if it's higher than GG, 30% of that is definitely going to be useful for the heals.
That is true. Droid and Scoundrel allies gain foresight for 2 turns. And then here's the unique and where the child comes into play. At the start of battle, IG-11 gains max protection. This is a Zeta. Equal to 20% of his max health. If Kuill is an ally, IG-11 gains 40% instead and gains taunt at the start of the encounter. Whenever a Scoundrel or Droid ally attacks during an enemy turn, IG-11 assists. At the start of IG-11's turn, he dispels debuffs. So we talked about the damage over time stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cascade, for another 200 bits there. Okay.
That's one of the reasons why I think, because Watt's a Scoundrel as well as a Separatist. And that's why that's why I just keep thinking that maybe these two could potentially slot into, could potentially be a GL counter. Because of all of the extra protection.
Wait, Watt's a Scoundrel?
Huh?
Are you sure that Watt's a Scoundrel?
I thought Watt Tamble was, I thought he had the Scoundrel tag, just like what's his face from episode 1. I thought he had a Scoundrel tag.
No, he does not. Darkseid supports Separatist.
Oh damn! I thought he had. I thought the humanoid Separatists had Scoundrel tag as well.
No,
like Newt's got the Scoundrel tag. I thought that Watt had the Scoundrel tag as well because
did they keep that? Hold on, did they keep that on Newt? That's another question. I don't think they have. Don't think they have.
Yeah, Newt is Scoundrel.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Newt is a Scoundrel. You're right. You're right.
I wonder what would go. I wonder how things would go down with him in the lead.
It's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
How are we going to get these, Neil? Your favorites, Galactic Challenges.
Galactic Challenges, yeah, they mentioned that, didn't they? Where did they mention that? Was that State of the Galaxy?
That was the State of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it was State of the Galaxy, yeah. Both Kuill and IG-11 will be initially available in a special set of Galactic Challenges as opposed to our regular marquee format. These events are in November. Each character will have 2 special Galactic Challenges on Navarro, where you will use your droids and bounty hunters to unlock 40 to 60 shards total for each character from their 2 events. The shards are unlocked by completing the first 2 to 3 tiers of each Galactic Challenge, so you won't need to worry if you can't complete the feats. We'll return to marquee introductions for future characters. And then obviously the 6th of November and the 13th of November will be Kuill. That will be for Kuill, and that's Droids versus Empire. And then the IG-11 Galactic Challenge will be the 20th of November and starting 20th of November and the 27th of November, and that will be Bounty Hunters versus Scoundrels. So yeah.
So
40 to 60 shards. So depending on
unlock.
Yeah,
and then
you'll get,
and then the pack to buy them.
Yeah,
the pack to unlock, and then there was talk about how would there be packs right away, or do you have to wait until it's over? We'll see. We'll definitely see. I mean, I'm a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, you're going to collect them anyway, regardless.
I'm going to collect them anyway. It's not bad. That's not a bad way to do it. You don't have to you don't have to use only droids in order to get Kuill. You don't have to use only bounty hunters in order to get IG-11. So it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Use your strongest, use your JKL,
Yeah.
Solo the first 3, there you go. You've got your character. This is essentially their way of simply giving you a character without just giving you a character.
Yeah, basically. It looks like you're going to still get roughly the same amount of shards. Were you to just do the, do a marquee. But obviously, a marquee has the bonus stage at the end. So without a marquee, there's no bonus. So there's no bonus stage to get, the bonus goodies that you would normally get during a marquee event. But it's always been a 25 unlock. It's always been a 25 unlock with some extra shards thrown in there. Usually halfway to 4. Usually it's you get them to 3 stars. So you get.
No, usually the pack is you buy 4. You can get them to 3 and you buy 4.
Yeah, but sometimes different marquees used to give you different number of shards. So you would get them to 3 stars, and then you would have like 10 or 15 shards, and then you would buy a pack to carry it to 4 stars.
No. So one thing, did you notice in there, IG-11 does not have the ability, I will initiate self-destruct.
Yeah, they did. The guys that they did talk about that during the interview. They initially didn't have the child. They didn't initially put Baby Yoda on the front of him because they were thinking, well, one of the specials has to be the self-destruct. And then
Top Hat was late to the meeting. Was the story?
No. It was Crumb that was late to the meeting.
No. Top Hat was late to the meeting. Crumb was telling the story of how Top Hat was late to the meeting.
Oh, right. Okay.
Turned it around. All this, you guys can, if you want to, after the show, go check out Galactic War Report and get the full story on it. We'll also be talking to Sigsig here in about 15 minutes about his experience with this whole interview. But nonetheless, you can't blow up Baby Yoda is essentially the whole story behind it. And it makes me a little sad, Neil. Mm-hmm. It does make me a little sad because I will initiate self-destruct was such an iconic line for IG-11. And it's how he saved all of them.
Yeah. I must admit, I would have preferred to see that in there, but obviously with the character having, I don't know, maybe they could have worked it in there. Maybe they could have worked it in there that that he does self-destruct, but that he has to remove the graphic is or the animation was removing the child and passing it to.
Putting it in the bassinet and sending it away.
Yeah. So, they could have made it a twofold. a twofold character, a bit like the way that GL Luke's thing works. You know, he goes from corporeal form to non-corporeal. Maybe they could have had Baby Yoda go into his crib. So IG-11 steps forward, does the self-destruct, and then all you've got is a non-attacking Baby Yoda, you know, doing heals, like a bit like Hermit Yoda does.
Yeah, you could do that, but there were also the naysayers that were saying, I saw this, well, you can't have him protect Baby Yoda and then go self-destruct because the animation would be too long.
Mm-hmm.
How long is the animation for Mando's disintegration? That's a bit of a lengthy animation.
Well, not really. Not if you've got it at full speed.
But not if you have it at full speed. But if you have it at full speed, it would be put baby, go away, boom.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
it would be about as long.
Yeah, I think because, you know, they were that intent on putting Baby Yoda on the front of him, so that they could throw some, throw some of his, chirps and some of his baby noises from the episode on. That I think they probably just got, really, really caught up in the fact that it's like, oh, bro, how do we animate the child? How do we, let's come up with some animate. They were that intent on it.
And it's good.
That they didn't
it's
think
real good.
Yeah, exactly. So they were that. What they had the blinkers on to make that as good as possible. That they weren't thinking about how could we work into this character, a self-destruct. So hey,
yeah,
who knows?
So anyway, we'll get into more of the stuff that we teased in the intro in a moment. We have to take a break so we can get to Sigsig coming up at the bottom of the hour. And guys, I'll save it for the intro. But if you do not know exactly who Sigsig is, you know of Sigsig's work. And we'll talk to him in just a moment right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, Escape Podawans. It is the Llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Castaways are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch every week streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, your favorite new Galaxy of Heroes show GA Center, and so much more. Come catch us on the web.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod Cast for Kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Podawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids. This week on Journey Through the Journey Guide, we are going to be taking a look at the Contact Protocol Legendary event to get C-3PO. To get C-3PO, you are going to need 5 Ewok characters, all at 7-star, at least Gear 11, Ability Level 8, and Mark 5 mods on them. Suggested characters for the event are going to be Ewok Elder, Chief Chirpa, Wicket, Logray, and Poplu. Now, you can also do this with T-Bow instead of Logray, but the event is much, much more difficult. This event has 7 tiers to take C-3PO to 7 stars. Like all of the other legendary events, C-3PO will unlock at 5 stars with 5-star required characters, so I highly suggest, once you've got 5-star Ewoks, to go ahead and try and get C-3PO at 5 stars. Now, this is a very difficult event, which gets a difficulty rating of hard. Now, it's very tricky, it takes a lot of RNG. I highly suggest, to make it a little easier on yourself, go a little bit overboard with gearing up your Ewoks. Now, it's not a complete waste, because you can definitely use them in GAC, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem if you took a few of them up to 12. Let's take a closer look at C-3PO himself. He's got the light side tag, he's a support character, a droid, he's also got the Galactic Republic, Rebel, and Resistance tags. As far as his abilities go, his basic Baffling Trick inflicts the unique debuff Confuse for 3 turns, with a max of 3 stacks, and it can't be evaded on the target ally. Now, if the target ally is already confused, the duration of the confuse will reset, so it'll go back to 3 turns. It also reduces the target's turn meter by 6% and 3% more for each stack of translation on C-3PO. Now, the debuff Confuse gives detrimental effects on the target ally based on the number of stacks of Confuse it has. So for 1 stack, they can't gain any buffs. For 2 stacks, they can't counter, assist, or gain bonus turn meter. And with 3 stacks, whenever they use their basic, it increases all of their other cooldowns by 1. His special ability, Oh My Goodness, gains C-3PO potency up and stealth for 2 turns. Then he and another target ally gain translation for 3 turns. This ability will also inflict Confuse twice on the target enemy and call all other allies with translation to assist with 50% less damage. So when you use this attack and select your target ally, you're going to want to make sure that you pick someone who doesn't already have translation. His first unique ability, his first of 5 by the way, is Protocol Droid. With this unique ability, C-3PO has plus 20 speed. While he's active, Galactic Republic, Rebel, Resistance, and Ewok allies gain translation for 3 turns each time they use a special ability. This cannot be copied. If the character already has translation, the duration of translation resets to 3 turns. Whenever 3PO is defeated, all stacks of translation will expire. Now, the buff Translation gives beneficial effects to the character based on the number of stacks of translation they have. 1 stack, they gain 30% max health. 2 stacks, they gain 15% critical chance. And for 3 stacks, whenever C-3PO uses his basic, they actually increase that character's cooldowns by 1 on all of their abilities. His second unique ability, Wait for Me, grants C-3PO and R2-D2 plus 10% evasion for each of their own stacks of translation. At the start of the encounter, they gain translation for 3 turns. When there are no other allies, C-3PO escapes from battle. His third unique ability, Intermediary, grants all allies plus 10% defense penetration. Each time a Galactic Republic or an Ewok ally gains a different non-unique, non-protection buff, they can grant 15% protection for 2 turns. For each stack of translation, Galactic Republic allies have an additional 10% defense penetration, and that's actually doubled for Ewoks. His fourth unique ability, Cyborg Relations, grants all allies plus 10% potency. Whenever a Rebel or an Ewok ally uses their basic ability, they inflict Expose on the target enemy for 2 turns. For each stack of translation, Rebels have plus 10% potency, and it's doubled for Ewoks at 20%. His final unique ability, Fretful Mediator, grants all allies plus 10% critical damage. Whenever a Resistance or an Ewok ally uses their special ability, they inflict offense down on the target for 2 turns. Now, for each stack of translation, Resistance allies have plus 10% critical damage, and that's doubled for Ewoks at 20%. C-3PO has 2 Zetas. His first one is on his special ability, Oh My Goodness, and his second is on his unique Wait for Me. Both of them are excellent Zetas. I highly suggest you invest in both of them. As far as mods go, you're really going to want his primary to be potency. You want those debuffs to stick. His Secondary kind of focus for mods are going to be speed, tenacity, and survivability. He's going to be stealth a lot because of his special ability, but he can be targeted when he's not stealth, so you want to make sure that he's not going to be, hit once and go down. Teams you can use him on, he is excellent on a Padme Galactic Republic team. That personally is where I use him most often. He's also great on a CLS Rebels team. He's pretty good in a JTR Resistance team, and because a lot of his unique abilities are focused on Ewoks, he actually is pretty good on an Ewok team, but he's usually not used there very often. Like I said, the main kind of teams you're going to see him on are going to be that Padme Galactic Republic team. He's excellent in that team. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids.
This is Maccaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Maccaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Maccaeus will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Maccaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Maccaeus today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MaccaeusMods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Maccaeus Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Maccaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the show. This week's guest needs a very, very, very good introduction. I do hope the Master of Ceremonies is ready for a good introduction. Paul, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, if you don't know this person, you definitely know their work. They are the creator of SWGOH Events.com. They run the Discord server. They head up the Puzzle Masters. They are privy to all the wonderful stuff that CG has in store for us. They are one of the most compassionate people that I know, and one of the brightest minds when it comes to, to putting information all in one place. It essentially is my second tool right next to SWGOH.GG that I use, and the sheets that I use for TB. SWGOH Events web headmaster, the master of ceremonies for that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Sigsig to the show. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Lovely to have you on, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, and Helenix also wants to point out that you also tremendously help at the guild recruitment Discord server.
Yeah, I'm kind of everywhere, that's for sure. Do a lot of things. Some things I've done, and I'm like, somebody will send me a message and be like, "Hey, do you know what's going on here?" I'm like, I don't even remember making this. Like, it's just, there's just so many things I've done, and I can't keep track of it all at this point.
Do you want to? What things that I could think of? You help with the GRDS. You help with the which I love the name of it, To Catch a Cheater. You have that server. Of course, events. What other little projects am I missing that once I'll probably go like, oh, I didn't even know.
Well, the wiki is a big one. The wiki.sw SWGOH.help. I built that whole thing, work on it with another guy. He does a lot of the content, but it's I don't know if you haven't been there in a long time, but it's really come a long way in the past year or two. So that's a big one.
I used it to find dates recently, so it helped out a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of content there that you wouldn't even know that's there. I've done an Alexa app, or Alexa skill, Google Play app. I mean, I have a lot of projects. I have the gear tool that integrates with hot utils, so you can pull in all your unequipped gear and see what you have left of gear for each character, things like that.
I didn't even know, and that's the funny thing. I didn't even know that you did the Google and the Alexa apps. That's hilarious. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do it because I don't want my smart house speaker to start talking to me in the middle of a show. But it is used. It is used in this household.
Nice.
So let's talk about you though. Because this isn't just about all the stuff that you've done. We also want people to get to know the person behind all the craziness. Are you a launch player, or did you end up becoming this master overlord of all the fun stuff after it launched and you said, oh wait, there's a Star Wars game, wait?
So I'm not a launch player. I started in, I think, around January 2017. So a little bit later than a lot of people, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But and whenever I started playing, I didn't play regularly. Like I didn't even play daily. It was probably 6 months in or so, I started playing a lot more. And I kind of remember it was like around the Thrawn event. I don't know when that was. I can look it up for sure. But around the Thrawn event was when I really started digging in. And I think that's around the time I started SWGOH Events. Was around there because I was just having so much trouble trying to figure out like what event is coming, what it just came. There was no way to track all that back then. So that's kind of one of the reasons I built that site, is because I didn't know what was going on ever.
I used to religiously look on that site. It's like, when's the next damn credit heist? That was the what, I think that was I mean, I'm not trying to, shoehorn the site into a one trick, because it is a multi-trick pony. But that was when I first came across your site. It's like, when's the next goddamn credit heist? And everybody was like, oh, just go have a look at SWGOH-events.com. And I'm like, what's that? And I went, oh, well, it'll tell you what the cadence is, and all of the and that was it. After that, I was just right, okay. Every time the event came out, it's like, right, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one? And I would be logging onto your site at least once every other day to find out when the next event, because obviously back then everything was on some kind of a cadence, whether it was assault battles or those droid events or the credit heist events. Everything had a cadence, which made your site really, really important, and especially if you were a hardcore player and you needed to prep and get things ready for when an event was coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And it was really challenging to try to remember like what event just happened, what is coming up, and all those different things. And with credit heist, it's even more interesting because we could basically data mine when the credit heist is coming before it's in game, which was like what Heist Hero on Twitter was doing too. But we took it a little bit further and added the history and pushed it out to Discord and Reddit and all these different places. It pushes out everywhere now, so pretty much everybody that plays the game knows when events are coming before the game even knows or shows when they're coming.
So we're definitely going to get into that data mine here in just a moment. My question for you, because I do want to get to know you and your account a little bit more. Where's your account standing right now?
As far as GP, is that what you're?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Are you a Galactic Legend? Are you somebody that's going after Galactic Legends, or are you free to play like Neil likes to say?
So I'm not free to play, but I don't spend a ton. I think I don't know, I probably spend something like $30 a month, and if you average it over time, that's probably what it would be about. And I like the legend. I got Luke. I have Ray. So I have a new one and an old one. I never got Kylo. I'm probably not going to, but it could be a mistake, but we'll see. But basically, once I got Ray, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go for Kylo right now, because I'm sure another good like the Legend is coming really soon, and I'll probably just want to go for one of those, which is what I ended up doing. And the two new ones were announced probably about a month later after I made that decision. So, but I'm about 5.0 G, so I'm kind of average for somebody that's played as long as me, I guess.
So there is a chance you and I could see each other.
Where are you at?
I'm at 6.5, but I have a very, very, very fluffy bottom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like we could.
Yeah.
You have 2 bells?
I have one. I have one, and hopefully by this time next week I will be JKL ready, but I'm not going after JML. You seem to be a light side fan.
Yeah, I have dark side, obviously, but yeah. So I feel like the game really pushed with Galactic Legends. They really pushed you in choosing a side. So if you go for Rey, it makes sense to go for Luke, or if you went for Kylo, it makes sense to go for the Emperor. I have a really hard time at this point in my roster to justify switching to a dark side GL, because I'm really set for the light side. Plus, everything I've been doing is gearing for light side GOTV. So I'm pretty set there, I feel like.
That makes sense, because the dark side GL doesn't require like masses and masses and masses of relic. You can get away with maybe 1 or 2 relic characters in a squad of gear 12s, and if you use the right compositions, it's not it's not particularly difficult to maybe during phases 3 and phases 4 you got to concentrate a little bit harder, but yeah, no, we all know just how hard light side GOTB is. So you definitely take advantage of going light side GL with regards to light side GOTB, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly what you said. I have a couple relics per squad, and it seems to get the job done well enough.
Did you go all out on the likes of Chupio and Mon Mothma then?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had to for so I didn't go all out on those squads, if that's what you're asking. I did on those 2 characters.
Those 2 characters,
specifically
yeah.
for Luke. Yeah, for Luke. But not on the squads themselves. I like to get a Mon Mothma squad. But yeah, not yet.
Mm-hmm. And are you liking the new ones that are going to get? Are you liking the new Mando characters that we're going to get hit with?
Yeah, for sure. Especially IG-11. I think he looks really good. Kuill looks pretty good too. Pretty interested in where they're going, I guess, more, because I feel like there's probably still something missing, and obviously they said there's something coming. But I feel like something is missing there to kind of tie all this together.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start farming Cara Dune now. Just like, okay, 2 new ones have come in. There's 5 of them. Obviously, now I have to start farming for Cara Dune. It's like, yeah, all right, fine, I'll bite the bullet.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys talked about it yet, but they said that the going to be on an accelerated timeline, which just means something's coming sooner than later.
So they are going to there's talks, if you will, that it would be an accelerated release of this. And so if we look, and I know you can't confirm, even if you knew, but does it make sense that if you're using all these light side characters that it is going to be Moff Gideon? Or have I been, have I been proselytizing for the wrong reasons? You know, what's your if you were a layman, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think he's definitely coming to the game. I don't know how, but I think he's definitely going to come to the game eventually. There's no way he won't.
I mean, I think it goes without saying that we're going to get a legendary that requires the 5. It's just not knowing if that legendary is going to be Moff Gideon, a la the Phoenix legendary. You know, you get your 5 light side Phoenix and you go for Thrawn. Is it going to be similar to that? So you got your 5 light side Mando characters to go for Moff Gideon, or is it going to be the 5 light side characters in order to get a Beskar Mando? But I think I'm with Paul now in that I think it probably will be Moff Gideon, because I just don't see Beskar Mando being a legendary. I see that being a hero's journey like type event, where we get the next iteration of the Mandalorian from what we got via Marquee. Just like, you know, we got Farm Boy Luke, as you know, and then we got CLS as a hero's journey, and then we got JKL, and then we got GL Luke, and I just see us getting several iterations of, because we have to get that Mando in his Beskar with the bloody jetpack at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you get any kind of inkling? Was there any kind of subtle hints as to whether it would at least be light or dark side?
Yeah, there's not anything I could say, but it sounds like you guys think there's 2 events. Is that what you're thinking?
No,
just for the 5 that we've got. Because we're going to get more characters, aren't we, Paul?
We're talking at the same time. I'm sorry, Neil. But what Neil's thinking is that there'll be a hero's journey to get a upgraded Mando. And what I'm thinking is that it's just going to be cut, dry, boom. There you go. There's Moff Gideon. Have fun with them in your Empire squads. And finally, something that you don't have to have a slacker for in order to do really good at dark side territory battles.
Yeah, I mean, they're both good theories. I think they're both good. I like both those options.
We'll leave it at that. I see the sweat bullet there. It will. Let's talk about your server. Let's talk about the Discord server that you have.
Okay.
And I mean, you have been essentially the rapsheet.com, or I forget what it was. I've been out of radio for a little bit. Allaccess.com of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community with your announcements. The anytime there's a post to the forums, it's in one event. Anytime that there's another event coming up, like Heist Hero used to do, you have an announcement. CG comments. Anytime anybody from CG comments on the forums, it hits the page. And we've been seeing some fun and humanizing interactions with Doja, which is great. I mean, I'm really, really, I love the work that Doja's doing. I really do. Then I love that you have the developer tracker. Mm-hmm. And then you have the big one, the datamine. And it's very interesting to me that I think you also keep them on their toes, and that's why it's why you're afforded such awesome interaction with them, that you and your team will sniff out anything new that comes to this game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is actually fairly easy to find if you know where to look. Some of it is actually really hard to find. And I know CG, well, I don't know. I would say I talk to CG a lot, and they have never said we don't want you doing this, or why did you put this out there? Even I think we leaked all the or didn't leak, we data mined all the planets before Galactic Challenges came out.
You did,
and we never heard anything about that. So they seem pretty much okay with it. Well, we also data mined the Piet skin.
You did
before Piet was announced.
Going to be one of the questions. Was that one of the easy ones or one of the really hard ones?
So the other guy who I work with, Barbarossa, he is really big into the graphics side, and he figured out a way to like pull all the graphics, and he sent me all of his stuff. So I do it too now, but yeah, he's real big into that, and that's much harder to do than a lot of the data mining. But he's also put together, like, I don't know if you've ever seen what he's done, but he's basically able to take skins from other characters, from like NPCs, and play as them. So he could play as like different versions of Leia. They look different. So he's been able to do this, and it's pretty interesting, the stuff he's done. I mean, he's done a lot of cool stuff.
All non-game breaking stuff, essentially.
Oh yeah. No, it's all safe stuff. It's not anything, and CG knows about it, and they're fine with it. So
you need to tell Scotty McLaren how to take the midriff Padme and put that in.
Yeah, so he's done that.
Shut up about that.
He's done that. There's a video of it floating around somewhere.
Nice. So you did essentially data mine the fact that we would be seeing, and this was well in advance. Back when was this? Hang on. It was even before the new stuff. You saw Navarro 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Some of that stuff gets in there, and sometimes we don't know what it is. Sometimes we're like, sometimes it's just like, a little thing of text. It could be an image. It could be all sorts of different things. And, and a lot of times we're trying to put together, we're chatting back and forth, trying to figure out, what's going on here? What is this? But a lot of times it's very straightforward, and we know exactly what it is a lot of the time. Yeah.
So there, I'm being pestered in the chat. Not pestered. Pestered's the wrong word. But they want to know what special Sith sorcery that you use in order to be in contact. I think it's just basically that you are a very big supporter of the community. I honestly think that's just it. Am I right?
Well, I mean, like you said earlier, I'm in the beta, and that puts me in contact.
Well, I didn't say that on the show, but okay.
Oh, shoot. It's known. A lot of people know it. So that puts me in contact right there. Yeah, and that's the main way. The new beta, not the old one. So yeah.
So there's it's just there's the trust, the element of trust there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have trust. I'm not. If it was the big that we found data mine, I would definitely tell them first before we posted it. Be like, hey, this is going on. This is a major issue, or it's a major thing. And give them a heads up at least to let them know what's going on. But I don't think they would actually stop it. They just kind of want to know sometimes if it's something huge.
Yeah, I don't know of anybody else that honestly goes into all the effort that you guys do. So I mean, knowing that you guys are pretty much the number one source when it comes to at least English speaking, I should say, side of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you run a good ship.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for a long time, so it's just something that kind of grows over time, I guess.
And so one last thing that I do want to talk to you about, and you and I have discussed this. You are also pretty much the ringleader of the puzzle masters, the people that figure out the puzzles when they hit. I didn't even tell Neil when you had come to me about a month ahead of time where we're like, there may be a puzzle coming up. And I'm going, okay. And then the day of, you're like, you could tell Neil now. And I'm immediately trying to get a hold of Neil while he's cooking dinner. I'm like, Neil, puzzle.
Right.
What you actually worked with them on a puzzle before?
No. I didn't work with them. Well, so the last puzzle that came out, I was told that, I would be involved in some way, and I didn't know how. But basically, they sent me one of the puzzle pieces. They also sent T-Money and the Galactic War Report guys. They sent all three of us different puzzle pieces. And at the time, though, we had no clue that we were all getting them. We just all randomly got them at random different times of the day. So we had to kind of put that together as to like, where are all these coming from? Are there any more? And I think Chrome did like the fourth one. Those are the four pieces. The four of us got them. And that's kind of how it kicked off the puzzle, was us four getting those pieces.
And so we put them together this last time. We put them together. I immediately, I was the one who said, this is a QR code. We got to go with the QR code, and it was an absolute ton of fun to put that together. And then I saw the Braille sitting in the window behind you there. But it didn't occur to me to put it in a freaking Bitly link. I had the answer right in my hand.
Yeah, I mean, I like the puzzles a lot. I like solving them, but I think it's the only thing that really brings the community together in the way it does. I mean, if you're on Discord with puzzles, it's insane. I mean, there's literally, I don't even know, thousands of people right there in one room and hundreds of people all talking at the same time. And it's kind of madness at one point. So we separate things off so puzzle masters can only talk to each other and things like that. But I mean, it really brings the community together, and it's something, it's definitely different. And it's something that, I've never, it's something that I don't see in this community other than at those times.
So is there, should I be on standby in the near future? Do you know?
I'm not aware of any puzzles right now.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately.
Hey, we tried, guys. We tried. I promised you that I'd keep you to the top of the hour. We are approaching it. Sigsig, how do people find you and your wonderful work?
SWGOH Events.com is the best way. You get on Discord. I'm found pretty easily because I'm pretty much everywhere.
You are the Toyota of Discord.
Exactly.
All right. Any final questions, Neil?
No, I'm good. You've been quantitative with the questions.
Sigsig, anything else before we let you go?
No, I'm good. Thank you, guys.
All right. Guys, stick around. As we do in the penultimate episode of the season, we do talk a little bit about other things that we enjoy outside of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but most of all, we will also read Patreon's choice only questions coming up after this break in Helly and the Noob right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Maccaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day,
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Maccaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Maccaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Maccaeus will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Maccaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact contact Macayas today on Discord, all in lowercase, guys, MIKAYAS0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up macayasmods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Macayas Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Macayas Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways Network.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
I simply must vehemently disagree with you, good sir.
You have got to be
kidding me. Noob.
You're being entirely unreasonable.
It's you who
isn't being
reasonable.
Noob.
Mate, you can't just repeat whatever I say.
Ewok, you just can't repeat whatever
I say. Newbie. What?
Man,
what?
I'm not in the mood for this today. Oh, hey there, Nev. I thought I heard you in here. Anyway. What's the problem this time, noob? And why is it that whenever I see the two of you together, you're always arguing?
Newbie here is attempting to convince me that Senator Palpatine isn't a corrupt, lifelong politician who will blatantly lie to get his way.
Wait. One at a time, boys.
Newbie here is attempting to convince me that Senator Palpatine isn't a corrupt, lifelong politician who will blatantly lie to get his way.
I said one at a time. Noob, let your guest speak first. Nievnev, please, proceed.
I'm just trying to explain to your droid that this half-dead old codger, Palpatine, is a corrupt, lying, manipulative, lifelong politician who will lie, cheat, and steal to gain power.
Okay, newbie. And now, it's your turn.
Lennox?
Nev.
Needs to understand that Valorum is a
speciesist
who needs to be tossed out and gotten rid of
entirely.
You know, every time the two of you get together, the conversation devolves into a god-dang political argument. Why do both of you do this?
Because newbie here needs to just admit that a vote for Senator Palpatine is just the most anti-republic thing a citizen could do.
We've really stooped down to the low-hanging fruit of politics in 2020. We must have run out of show ideas. Sheesh. Anyway. So, yeah, you're both wrong.
Wait, what?
You heard me. You're both wrong. That much is clear.
Both of us cannot possibly be wrong, human. You simply must pick a side.
No, newbie. Nievnev. Indeed, you're both wrong. And you know what? I got a short PSA that can help you both understand.
Crap. I'm starting to hate these
PSAs.
This PSA is brought to you by Hellenix.
#shameless self-promotion.
And today's sponsor, 2020 dystopian year from Sullust bingo cards. Follow along, tracking all of 2020's zany and unexpected antics, and win prizes while you play along. I have Demons Erupt from the Geyser at Old Faithful, and gamma ray burst from Alpha Centauri on my card. What do you have on yours? Purchase your own 2020 Dystopian Year from Sullust bingo card today and find out. Not available in all systems. Your political opinion. What is it? Why do you have one? And who stands to benefit when you share it? In this SWGOH PSA, we will explore your dumb political opinion and the many myths that surround it. Nowadays, most people on the internet have a political opinion, and strangely enough, everyone feels a need to express theirs. But strangest of all, people think their political opinions are right. Today, we will try to navigate these muddy waters and determine whose political opinion is worth sharing and whose isn't. Regardless of your particular political persuasion, your specific political opinion is indeed wrong. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. The guy listening to me and pointing at himself. Yes, you. Sorry to break it to you. You're wrong. I don't care what your political opinion is. It's patently absurd, easily debunkable, and frankly, a bit unhinged. But wait, what about you? You. Over there. Yes, you. The lady pointing at herself. Yes, you. You're wrong too, I'm afraid. And what about you? Way in the back. Yep, you. The one barely listening while you try to play Squad Arena in the middle of the show. Yep, you. You're wrong too. Notice I didn't bother to listen to any of your political opinions at all, right? Why? Because they're wrong. How can I possibly know this without hearing a single political opinion expressed? Simple. They're not my political opinion. And therefore, they can't possibly be right. You see, folks, when someone shuts down their ability to listen and hold a conversation with someone of a different opinion, who they may in all likelihood get along with, under all other circumstances, civility dies. And when that happens, we all just revert to acting like overgrown children throwing temper tantrums. So, do us all a favor. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. When it comes to political opinions, just keep them to yourself. You won't be able to win anyone over, and all you'll do is cause an argument. And if I see you arguing, I'll ban you from all of my chats, all of my discords, and the eastern half of the known galaxy. So, before you express your obviously flawed political opinion, remember this. Political opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink. This has been Hellenics. #shameless self-promotion. For the Hellenic SWGOH YouTube channel. And 2020 Dystopian Year from Sullust bingo cards. Buy yours today. Not available in all systems. So, revenues have been kind of low, huh? I mean, we had to resort to getting a sponsor? What are we, broke or something? What do you mean my check may bounce if I deposit it before Tuesday? That payment better be good. I don't work for free. So, do you see now, boys? Wasn't that PSA helpful?
Once again.
Hellenics? That PSA didn't explain anything.
At least we are finally in agreement on something. Here today, Sir Noob of House EK.
Yeah, you aren't getting off the hook.
That easy.
Beep, bag.
Agreed, Noob. What are you thinking? Should we roast him on a spit over an open fire?
You?
Must.
Choose a side, Hellenics.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, that's easy. Side chosen.
Well, that was quick. So, pray tell, whose side did you choose? Hellenics of Corellia? Mine or noobs?
Easy. I chose my side. I'm gonna vote for Ainley Team of Malistaire.
Hey,
I really like his
that's quite
policy on
unfair.
legalizing
You can't
spice.
pick from a third choice.
For medicinal
You
purposes.
can't pick from a third choice.
Of course. Why not? I'm an individual, and I can make my own decisions. I don't do what the HoloNet tells me. You guys need to stop watching that garbage. It's rotting your brains and ruining your logic.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Welcome back to the bridge, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of the show. It's Patreon's choice. Paul, it's been a pretty decent show. We had a good interview with Sigsig then, didn't we?
We have had some of the greatest guests recently. And also, I want to give you guys props. If you guys have not seen it, over on the YouTube channel or in the archives here on Twitch, if you're watching live, this past GA Center, Neil and Flair both talked to Arnold T101.
Yeah, we got the Grand Admiral on for an interview.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check out an interview, for those who are fans of interviews, if you guys want to check that out, that is on YouTube. That's also here on Twitch. It's a lot of it was a really, really cool interview, and I'm really proud of you guys, and just want to thumbs up.
Yeah, you'll especially like it if you like GAC, because obviously our show is about GAC, so the interview was about the Grand Admiral's week of GAC that week. You know how he did, and what teams he came up against, and what he was doing, what he was prepping for, for next month and stuff like that.
And pretty much strictly on that on GAC.
Yeah.
We'd love to have him on to talk about his account and just Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in general, but this was just about GAC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's get quickly to Patreon's questions here. Mm-hmm. If you were held at gunpoint and told if you didn't impress them with your dance moves, you would be killed, what dance moves would you bust out? For me, it would be I could do the Party Rock Anthem dance.
I would give them the squatty two-step.
What would be the hat to end all hats? What could you wear on your head that would possibly make people stop what they're doing and stare in awe and amazement?
I used to have that exact hat that I used to take to festivals with me. I used to have a festival hat. It was a top hat. I'm not joking. It was at least it was a top hat. I made it from scratch. It was about 2.5 to 3 foot high, and I would walk around at festivals with this massive thing on, and people would stop and ask if they could try it on. So I literally had a hat that I made that did exactly that, made people stop and look.
It would definitely have to be some sort of probably steampunk-esque top hat.
No, it was weird. It was a plain hat, but what I did every single year was I would change the cover. So I would literally, so the outside of the top hat would be different. No, not just the rim.
No, the brim would be the same.
Yeah, the entire thing had a different cover on every single year. So, 1 year it was fleece, 1 year it was cloth, 1 year, those loom bands, those little elastic bands.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, 1 year I bought 2,000 loom bands, and I linked together 2,000 black and yellow loom bands and put it all the way around the outside of the hat. That took me forever. It took me about a month to prep that one. And every year, everybody that I would go with would sign the hat.
If over time you replace parts on a car, at what point does it stop being the same car you bought? How many parts do you need to replace to make it a new car? I think, you get one engine replacement and then it's no longer the same car.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Once you replace the engine, it's not the same car. Yeah.
Well, you get one engine replacement because it's still the shell.
Yeah.
It's still the shell. If you die and find out that everyone gets to choose a 12-foot by 12-foot square to stay alone for all eternity without being able to influence or contact the living world, what 12-foot by 12 foot square would you choose?
I don't understand.
I guess you would just observe. Is there a 12 foot by 12 foot square that you'd just like to observe for all of eternity?
Oh, what? So I get to what? Sorry, what?
You basically, this came from Geek Girl. All these questions here came from Geek
Girl.
Right.
I don't understand the question. Am I on a 12 foot by 12 foot square with nobody else doing nothing?
Yeah,
am I looking at
your eternity? Your eternity is spent from that very 12 foot by 12 foot square.
Yeah, but
so
okay, I'm going to have to ask her offline. I don't understand the question. I don't.
Okay, I'll give you my answer. I would probably, and it's going to kind of tie into what we're going to talk about, the games that we're playing outside of SWGOH. But I would probably say a 24-hour bowling alley. I like watching people bowl.
Okay. So we're just watching something for eternity.
Yes.
You just watch one thing for eternity.
If you could put your square anywhere in the world, where would you want to put your square?
I don't know.
The London Eye, right?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure. London Eye.
There you go. Where is... Okay. Geek Girl, I gotta pre-screen these questions sometimes. But what the heck? I have a way to make a joke out of this one. Where was the most inappropriate, most embarrassing place you've ever farted? During the interview last segment. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I've done it during an interview before. That was embarrassing. But I just
like a work interview, because I've actually done that too.
Yeah, no, I just I knew it was coming, so I just started talking, and I just talked through it and kept on talking, and I didn't stop for like 20-30 seconds. So
did you at least raise the volume of your voice to try to cover it?
No, I just spoke as if it, that wasn't me. You may think that was me, but it wasn't. So I'm just going to keep talking and make a serious point so that you can't go back to that, like having a hot take.
Oh, we know all about hot takes. All right. So Dickie Darkside, this is his question. You can pick anyone for your first live concert once life returns to a semblance of normalcy. Okay, Dickie, I know you're in the chat. Does this have to be a currently touring band or artist? Who would you pick to see once life returns? It doesn't have to be a currently touring band. So I could say Jimi Hendrix. He says no in the chat, just for those who are listening to the podcast version.
I would go with the Pretty Reckless, because I really, really would love to see Taylor Momsen live. And I'd want to be right at the front as well.
All right. Llama says they should be alive. So I am going to go on that. And I'm going to tell you this. My choice is something that I do have tickets for. I won the tickets because of my trivia night that I host. I was the best in the company. Literally the quarter right before the quarter right before life went to heck in a handbasket, I had the best trivia. I have tickets to see Elton John. I have a pair of tickets to see Elton John, and I'm going with the person that raised me on Elton John, my mother. I'm going to finally be able to go to a Elton John concert with my mother, and I will wait until 2022, January, to do it. So, anyway, what JJ Manners highlighting a message, even though he's a Patreon. What actor would you like to see in Mando, and what role?
Thrawn, Jason Isaacs.
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
What about Pierce Brosnan as Thrawn?
Jason Isaacs is Thrawn.
All right. So, what games in the past since 30 episodes ago? What games have you been playing outside of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
Minecraft and Squadrons. That's it, pretty much. Nothing else. You know me. I've got 4 accounts in SWGOH, so I have very, very little time to play other games. But definitely Minecraft, the Microsoft version, because Flare has we've got a little content creator server.
You're talking about the Java version, not the Microsoft version.
Java version.
Yes.
And obviously Squadrons, since that's come out. Still not done the story. I've been more doing the PvP stuff than the PvE stuff. I will complete the story at some point. I'm more interested in playing with 5 people and having fun with the game, fun playing the game with a bunch of other people.
For me, I've been pretty much playing Fallout 76. I've been playing Fall Guys and Among Us with the fellow streamers. But I actually recently came across, once again, I love bowling. I come from a bowling family. My grandfather was the proprietor of the bowling center back home. And I came across a game called Bowling Crew. Absolutely free to play in it. It's absolutely fun to get into. And if you are a Patreon, there's a link that you can get little stuff. They sent me a link to share with you guys. I'm not compensated in any way for any click on that link. It's just an invite to the game, and I mean, I guess I'm compensated with an in-game thing. I just wanted to share it with them, share it with the listeners of the Patreons. And I think I did mention Fallout 76. I'm going to be getting more into that when the new Steel Dawn update comes out. It's a Brotherhood of Steel themed update where they move into the West Virginia area, and you also can build your own. You could build your own bunkers, essentially, Neil, which is going to be really cool because you can't have that nuked into oblivion if you've done this elaborate look, and it can't be attacked by monsters. So you can literally set up a shop for someone, and it's really cool. You could also set up a trap for someone, but that's another thing. So, thank you so much to everybody that supported us during this show. I want to thank Okidit for the follow. I want to thank Cascade for the 200 bits, STP for the shiny dime, Helenix for the shiny nickel, Popeye for the dollar coin, Wardy found 1 bit under the couch, and then Cascade cheered another 600 bits throughout during the commercial breaks. We really appreciate each and every single one of you. Neil, what do you have coming up? You've started playing NADS.
Yes, the Nev After Dark. So yes, on an evening, except for evenings, immediately preceding GA Center, because we don't finish until like 11 o'clock, and I ain't streaming after doing a 90-minute live stream. So yeah, but yeah, every other night, if the mood takes me, then I will be doing the Nev After Dark stream. So yeah, and I will park myself on Discord in the Escape Pod Cast Discord channel. So if anybody wants to jump in and chat, they can come
and not just Patreons.
That's not just Patreons. That's anybody. That's anybody. It's not the that's the loading dock, so anybody can come and join in chat. And if nobody comes and joins in chat, I just play some tunes. I don't have an awful lot of choice at the moment because I still haven't ripped. I've ripped like 4 of my CDs onto the PC, and I've got a big pile of CDs. It's like I just can't be bothered. I want to, and I know it doesn't take that long, but I've done like just none at the moment. So, but yeah, I throw a couple of tunes on, and then I just do my 600s, do some daily climbs, try and get to number 1 on Fleet Arena on my 3 alt accounts, and just generally chill and chat and talk to people. So yeah, that's just me. I have to do it every evening anyway. I figured why not just stream it, and then if I provide you with sufficient enough entertainment, you can throw a couple of biddies my way.
And anything during Neil After Dark is 100% sent to you, just as anything during mine is mine. So it's a non-solicited contribution. Is that the correct?
Voluntary contribution.
What is it?
It's a voluntary contribution.
Voluntary non-solicited contribution.
The VC.
So, on top of that, guys, Mrs. Anthony will be on Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow, playing with RSG. They'll be playing on that channel, and then maybe I'll pop on. I may pop on Sunday and just stream something. Would be good to see all you guys stopping out.
Yeah, and you guys definitely want to see my GAC next week.
And I that actually might be what I'll do. I might set up my 3v3 teams.
Yeah, then that's what you should do. You should definitely if you haven't got squad loadouts for your 3v3, get them made, because it's going to be hell on anybody that hasn't. I don't understand why people go into GAC without squad loadouts. Just trying to fit. Oh, I'll just scroll up and down. It's like, no. Make squad loadouts. Have the exact, if you're going up against 8 teams, have 12 teams ready to rock and roll. So you go, oh yeah, I know that team will beat that team. Do it. Okay, so if you haven't got your 3v3s ready, Paul, then that's what you should be doing.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, that is going to wrap up the show. If you are a Patreon, please make sure that you stop by and say hi to us in the after show. I do want to see if Dr. Zeppers is streaming. He's going to be debuting something here. We're going to raid him right after the end of this. So make sure that you stick around for the raid to Dr. Zeppers. Wonderful guy. He is, as I said, he's going to debut something that I hope he hasn't already played. You guys are going to get a kick out of it. Totally original material by him. And finally, congratulations to one of the Escape Pod Castaways. Adjacent groups, the Bounty Honeys, has a very special announcement. And thank you. Congratulations to our very own Kate Gaming getting married tomorrow. The Escape Pod Castaways are very proud to be your friend, to be your colleague, and we wish you all the best on what should be one of the happiest days of your life. All right. Anything else, Neil?
No, I'm good, mate.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as of this recording, there's no more early voting from what I understand in the U.S. So Tuesday, if you're listening to this before Tuesday in the U.S. and you haven't yet, go vote. That's all I could say. Wear a mask, protect those that you love, be nice to each other, damn it, and we'll see you next time right here on the Escape Podcast.
You're not going to tell me to push the button then?
I forgot about that. Neil, push the button.
Ta-ta, everybody.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.